Hey everyone, and welcome to V5, where we spend exactly 5 minutes getting on our soapbox on some of the hottest topics and hottest takes in all of B2B sales. I have the distinct pleasure today of being joined by Blue Bowen, who is a research principal with a focus on sales tech at G2. Blue's got a hot take. I'm not gonna spoil it, so Blue, take it away. What's the take? What do we need to know?
Yeah, thanks so much. My hot take for today is AI SDRs. Those focus on inbound, not the ones that are potentially blowing up your mailbox and email deliverability, are going to change the game, providing the best buying experience, supporting buyer enablement, which I think in this competitive market is really about, successful companies putting the buyer first.
Awesome. But what do you say to the folks who may be on the fence about it? Oh, I don't want to know. I don't know if I want to turn that over. That's my tip of the spear function. That's my face and voice. What do you say to the folks who may be a little hesitant to go down that path?
I think there's a difference between autonomous and kind of co-piloting. So if you're cautious, I think it's important to understand your level of risk that you're okay with. It's also important to know that, humans make mistakes too. So we should have a little leniency with bots as well. But I think when we're looking at the inbound, especially, inbound leads are kind of your lowest hanging fruit. They've already shown intent. We see so many tools out there in the outbound world that are looking at intent to time the right message, the right time. Well, these inbound leads have already kind of given you that intent. So it's really important that you nail the basics and that you provide kind of a seamless buying experience for those inbound leads.
Yeah, totally. So for the folks coming on in, open the door, make sure it's a positive experience at the beginning. I certainly see the value in acceleration. The marketer in me gets it. Where do folks get started if they wanted to think about exploring these processes, these tools, these opportunities? What's the recommended path, say you?
I'd be remiss if I didn't say check out g2.com. Definitely a lot more research coming out as it relates to AI SDRs, both inbound and outbound, and just the whole agentic force as a whole. So I would say G2 is a great place to start. We even have our own kind of AI SDR in Monty, who has done some incredible results so far. I would say look at G2, look at your system, look at your inbound process currently, seeing if there's any gaps there or if there's any kind of easy wins to kind of improve the experience.
Definitely. And Blue, you sit in a privileged seat and you get to see the explosion of where we've been in the last, kind of 12 to 18. How would you encapsulate kind of this rise of the agentic workforce?
We're seeing kind of a plethora of tools, even, the major incumbent Salesforce launching their whole agent force. And I thought it was particularly interesting that when Salesforce launched their SDR, they are focused on inbound leads. They're focusing on lead enrichment, lead nurturing, and the inbound leads rather than the spray and pray approach that's just more automated now than it even was with sales engagement platforms. It's a total boom, but everybody's focused on productivity for their employees. Mm-hmm. I would say it's equally as important to focus on how AI can help your buyers in their experience, just as it is in helping your sellers sell.
Definitely. And I can certainly see the edge in kind of creating for the productivity internally, as well as improving the buyer experience. Certainly it's one thing I've seen over my career is that the company that tends to provide the best buyer experience is going to win. I mean, the tech makes sense. You got to meet technical requirements. You got to kind of fit the commercial bit. But, I've seen a lot of win-loss analysis where I've seen a buyer say, hey, the experience made the difference. I felt a certain kind of way through the process. I can definitely see where you say the right use case for the AI SDR for inbound as a buyer experience lever will make a ton of sense for a lot of companies.
Yeah, certainly. It's not always the best product that wins at the end of the day. Sales at the end of the day still is a relationship game. So the relationship you have with your prospects and the experience you provide for them of the most importance. If you have an inbound lead that's waiting 3 days to hear back, they probably reach out to your competition by then. So it's important to meet them where they are, answer their questions, whether that be a bot, an agent, or a person. I think timeliness and effective communication are most important.
Totally. Yeah. Speed kills. You give me something to think about, even as my own kind of use case as someone who leads an SDR team. So I got some work to do. I'm going to hit the G2 grid in just a second. So, hey, thanks for the time today, Blue. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Pleasure being on there to speak with you about it.
You got it. So you guys heard it. If this is a topic you want to hear, Blue, share some more insights on it. If this is a V5 you want to see extended into a V15, you know what to do. Let us know in the comments and we'll upvote accordingly. Thanks a lot, everybody. You're listening to The Unexpected Lever. For additional resources, check out Vivint.com. Got a soapbox you'd like us to talk about longer? Let us know by messaging me, Jarod Greene, on LinkedIn.